Welcome to another indie game development live stream. Today we'll keep working on Will You Snail. Don't forget, Islanders is coming out 4th of April. The link to that is in the description. Wish list now. It's my first Steam game. I'm super excited. And I've been working on Islanders for the most part of this day. But now I thought it would be a good idea to probably keep working on Will You Snail a little bit as well, because I know myself, if I pause a game project for too long, there's a high chance that I won't pick it up again, so let's not pause the development of this game. That's too risky. Let's just keep getting some work in. And today, I actually have something cool planned, which is the tower defense level. I think we can give that one a little bit of an overhaul. I'm not really happy with how that plays anymore. I think it's too complicated, honestly. I think we should simplify it a bit, because I'm really afraid that people won't be able to figure this out here. It requires a lot of reading. I would really prefer it if it was possible to play through the entire game without reading. That maybe, yeah, there are a couple of things to read, but you don't have to read anything if you don't want to. So, and that will be difficult to do for this tower defense level. By the way, the tower defense level looks pretty dang sick in the purple color scheme. I really like how it looks. Let me show you. Hey Gear Wheel, welcome. Okay. So at the moment we can place all of these turrets here before the wave starts coming in. And you can even see here under the player here, there's a big 0. That's my resources. And one thing I was wondering about is maybe we can eliminate resources altogether, because I feel like that makes a little too complicated. And maybe we can also eliminate leveling these turrets up entirely. I feel like this level could probably benefit from being a little more casual. And then once you place all of the turrets at the moment, the enemies start coming in. And you can collect these little resource orbs, and they allow you to upgrade turrets by standing next to them. That one, I'm afraid, will get through.
Absolutely desperate.
Yeah. Which difficulty am I playing on? Tower defense level is quite tricky at the moment, but I think I have some great ideas to simplify this. And if we have time, then we can also start to polish this out a little bit. One thing I would really like to do is make the turrets look a lot more different from one another, animate them, make their shots and particle effects look a little cooler. That's all stuff I really would like to do. Well, I'm building the exact same setup again. That won't work either. Hey, 7 viewers already, welcome everybody. If you have any ideas for this tower defense level, kind of let me know if you want. The main goal is more or less just to simplify this. I think it's too complicated at the moment. Dang it, now this giant train will probably get through, no? Can I beat this on the easiest difficulty, please? Please, can I do it? Yes. And upgrading these turrets at the moment is a little boring anyway, because the best strategy is pretty much always to upgrade these turrets here, and then collecting the resources feels a little weird. So what I thought would be a nice solution is to simplify the tower building a little bit, but compensate that with something the player already knows. And that something is a gun. I think that would make a lot of sense. Which kind of gun do we want to give the player? The one that shoots up, right, down? Let's go for the one that shoots to the side. And then we can just go to the tower defense mini game and tell those enemies that it can be shot. I hope they are parented. Yes. That's cool. I can just say if it's colliding with minigame, shooter, projectile. How much HP does an enemy like this have? 10. Let's say HP minus equal 2.5. With other do instance destroy. And then let me just find the hit sound real quick from one of the other enemies in the shooter. Can just copy that over. Dancing, space defense, shooter. Here, that is the sound we need to play. Let's do that for the enemies as well. And let's see how this feels like. Hey, welcome. Series 7, Travlot. It feels a little weird that I'm already shooting while setting this level up. That is a little strange. Now we obviously might have to give those enemies a little more HP.
Who the hell launched this simulation in casual difficulty, and why do you still fail?
But in general, I think this probably makes it a lot more interesting because you can interact a lot more actively with the enemies. Have to decide where you go to defend, to the upper lane or to the lower lane. See, I definitely feel like I could have stopped that. So now it comes down to two factors: how you place the turrets and how you defend the enemies. I think that's cool. Did I just see a couple of projectiles flying through the wall? Now we gotta check if that is still a thing. I just have a little bit of a to-do list here for things I want to do. In case you're wondering what's happening over here. Antique Games, you can't stay long. That's fine. You'll just miss another epic stream. You wanted to say the game's looking cool? You're probably talking about Islanders, I assume. See you later. Bye-bye. Okay, let's make sure this will also be a cool game. We need more cool games. I think the first thing we should do is remove the unnecessary mechanics, the money and stuff like that. Probably want a reset button here for when you build all of the turrets, all of these turrets. There's at the moment there's no way to change them to something else. So there should be a button to reset them if you want to change them. Okay. So here the turret parent, we can remove the level up mechanic from that. For now, let's do that with some sort of quick fix. We don't need to spend a super crazy amount of time on this. Okay, let's see if that already does the trick. And then that simply draws the money. Okay, that literally doesn't do anything else, so we can just remove that object from the room, so we can't see the money anymore. And then the enemy spawner. I think that last tag here defines whether there's a resource inside that enemy that you can pick up. Yeah. Let's get rid of that as well. Which means now we have to remove that last bit here from wherever I used that function. Okay. Hey there! Awesome content, and your approach and level design is exotic. Keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, one of the most annoying things in the last test was also that you keep shooting while you build these turrets. That's super annoying.
Would you be so kind and start moving now?
Yeah, sure, I'll start moving. There definitely needs to be better hit feedback and all that sort of stuff. I wonder how the performance looks like.
Yo, this is boring. Get going. Get I'll have to restart you.
Can't really compare it with other levels. I mean, still looks fine. Let's worry about performance later. That is really not something we should worry about right now. I'm sure it will turn out fine. Zap, no, not on Epic stream. Okay, because you have to leave. Okay. What's next on our to-do list? Right. Fixing that stupid gun problem. What do we do about that? Should we only make that appear once the enemies start coming in? What is our workaround for that? Let's automatically assign a gun to the player when the match starts. Okay, so I'll just set the gun of the player manually. This way we don't even have to place it in the scene. Hey Darksoon, welcome. Let's just place a couple of basic turrets. At the moment the problem is all of these turrets feel pretty samey anyway. Oh come on, why didn't I get a gun? No. Let's try that again. Dum 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 dum. Oh no, I can't hum that. Do. Please give me a weapon this time, please. I hope it works. No. That is strange. Let me check how that variable is named in the player. Oh, it's called gun equipped. Oopsie doopsie. Yeah, that's one problem with GameMaker. Doesn't know which object has which variables for some reason. It just autocorrects to something that doesn't even exist in that object and doesn't even show you an error message for that. So where do we have this border? Here. Okay, now it will. I'm pretty sure it will work. Simple point zero, yeah, you're not 1 hour late, just 20 minutes. That's not bad. Good job. I'm proud of you. May I ask why the waves are hard-coded one by one?
Get going or I'll have to restart you.
You mean unlimited amount of waves? Yeah, I think we could definitely try to have an unlimited amount of waves. Point is just, I don't want the level to be infinitely long. Plus, automated waves usually look a little more boring, and I can create more variety and I have more control over the level design if I just hard code it in. Usually these Will You Snail levels are supposed to be very short levels anyway. Okay, I just wanted to test if the gun works actually. Let's do that. Nice. Yeah, let's try that on a harder difficulty. That was pretty easy. At the moment the difficulty just controls the HP of those enemies. And then we also have to think about what happens when you beat the level. Will it just allow you to exit the level on the right here? Will a door open somewhere? That's strange. I feel like some of my shots are just flying straight past that enemy. Gotta check those collision masks real quick. Minigames, tower defense. I mean, that one has probably a correct collision mask. Yeah, that one does not have a correct collision mask. No, no, no. No, it looks a lot better. And what about this one? No. That looks pretty off as well. That should resolve that issue. Very nice. So what if we take this step by step to turn this into a little bit of a simpler problem? Let's just duplicate this level. And let's call it Tower Defense Intro. We probably want to have 2 or 3 levels of that type anyway. Oh jeez, I have so many levels already. Where do we put that? We first have the tower defense intro, and then we have the other tower defense level, and here in the tower defense intro, what if we don't even have any of these, what are they called, turrets? What if we just have to defend this thing with our gun? That could be a decent learning experience, right? And I mean, if we do a level like that, then I probably want to put that somewhere in the center of the level. Let's try that. Let's try that out. I think that could be quite cool by itself. And then it will become even cooler when you get some additional turrets to defend yourself. Just have to find which layer they're on. I hate this endless layer searching in GameMaker. Oh, I wanted to get rid of my complaining. Sorry, you didn't hear anything. Okay. That will just be somewhere on the ground around here. Should we start the player next to that, or should the player drop in from somewhere? I feel like it's okay to make the player start next to it. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, now let's redesign the layout of the level a bit. I'll just get rid of all of these blocks to make sure that I don't copy too much, because I have a tendency to do that. And if I build it from scratch, then usually levels are a lot more interesting. So I think it would be pretty fun if you just have a bunch of enemies coming in from different angles and you have to fight them off. Maybe we can have an entrance here, enemies coming in here, enemies coming in here, enemies coming in here. That sounds pretty cool. Let's make it happen. Yeah, this will be quite interesting. Okay, so that means we have 3 attack paths for enemies. Maybe these enemies right here could come from the top as well. That gives you a little bit of extra reaction time. Plus, we don't need that space anyway. But I don't want them to come all the way from the top, otherwise it's a little too symmetrical. I like the asymmetry, it makes it more interesting as well. So let's do that. Nice. I think the projectiles of the basic tower should be a little bigger. Honestly, I think all of the projectiles don't look super nice yet. If we get around to it, then we'll address that during the stream, but let's worry about the gameplay first. You're definitely right, Simple Point Studio. Okay, very nice. So in this level, these color transitions are more or less just used to indicate that you can not exit the level there. I hope that should make it clear. And now we need 3 new paths, as far as I think. Oh, forgot one wall down here. Enemy spawner is still in here. Probably need a different enemy spawner in this level. Okay. It's a little strange that I cannot name paths in this mode. Hey, who cares? So that is one attack path. Let's do another one. And let's do another one. Cool. And now let's give those paths proper names so we know what they're used for. Path, tower defense, intro 02. Haven't eaten a lot, I'm already getting hungry. And path, intro 03. Very nice. Making progress. I'm very curious to see how that plays. And the easiest way to find out is probably just to duplicate the first level spawner we have. Oh, sorry, the first enemy spawner. And this enemy spawner is for the intro. Yeah, the more I think about it, maybe we should actually automate these waves. Okay, let's see how that plays. Come on, load faster. What's going on? Okay, I guess usually the waves are triggered by placing a turret. As there are no turrets here, we've gotta find a different way. trigger the start of this? I guess we can just say enabled equals true. That should already resolve everything. Easy fix, very nice.
What a shame.
Huh? What was that? Did I place the paths the wrong way around, or what the hell was that?
Did you do that on purpose? Certainly looked like it.
The paths are not set correctly, apparently. Okay, guess the fastest way to fix that is to create the paths again. Oh, if we could get that final point, that would be nice. Why is there still a point? Ah! Okay, right. Seems like I have to start my path here then. Same for this path, and same for the last path. So let's hope they don't spawn right in the goal anymore. That was a little strange. One thing I'm wondering is about, should you be able to touch these enemies? I think it's quite nice for a change to be able to touch them. It's already difficult enough, especially when you don't get your gun. That should be an easy fix in theory. Hey Josh, 2006, boom, welcome. What I don't really like about this setup at the moment is that you can just... why didn't I get my gun? Oh, and 2. Okay, I know what's happening here. We need to give this a parent. Cool. What I don't like about this level layout at the moment is that you can just keep standing there without doing anything. Not really, but you don't really have to move a lot. I would prefer it if you had to move quite a bit more. Maybe we can create a bit of a tunnel here. Give the player a little more maneuverability. And now that should give you a better chance of attacking these enemies here earlier. And maybe we can do something similar here. Hey Theo, welcome. I'm trying to overhaul the tower defense levels of Will You Snail, trying to make them a little more simple. And obviously everybody wishlist Islanders. If you haven't done so yet, link to that is in the description. Okay, it's not really possible to fight that big one off if you just start shooting at it this late. No! See, now you can attack them a little earlier. Okay. That's too hard. Obviously, as we don't have any turrets here, this will require some rebalancing. But maybe we should do that now, because it would probably be a good idea to redesign the spawning system a little bit. Oh, come on, that thing has so much HP, it's pretty much impossible to kill. Impossible! Just one of my tendencies to get stuck way too long in playtesting whenever I should actually keep working. But it's just more convenient to play than to actually do something for your game. What is your inspiration? Caleste? It's the same mechanic almost. I wouldn't say it's the same mechanic there. This is just one section of the game. One very short section of the game. There are a lot more crazy levels. Don't know if I can give you a preview here. That's one of the levels. Quite a couple of levels already. I can show you later, just a little difficult right now, because then we would have to skip all the way back here. So what's next on our priority list? Somehow making sure that we can win, I guess. Okay, so actually for that we need to reduce the difficulty a little bit. Let's just remove the big enemies and replace them with normal enemies. Cool. Now it should be possible. And then when we're done with that, and all of the enemies are destroyed, what do? Do we just go to the next room? Okay, let's do that. If this weird spawn timer is larger than 1400, and if all of the enemies are destroyed, object tower defense enemy. So if all of the tower defense enemies are destroyed, we'll go to room next. I'll have to check how I do the win condition at the moment in the player, because I have never implemented an alternative win condition yet. Okay, I think I just need to set the victory variable to 0. That sounds easy enough. In case I find the correct object again. Let's see if it works. Hello, welcome, welcome. Should be able to defend that off now that the big enemy is gone, I hope. Oh, there's a big trail of enemies coming. And shooting that is a little boring, but that is simply my fault. It's due to bad level design. That is a little boring as well. Yeah, we'll have to fix the level design of this a little bit. Okay, will I automatically go to the next room now? Victory, victory, where's my victory? Well, things like that did not work. Ah, okay, there is a script for that. That obviously simplifies the process. I was already wondering, usually I would definitely make a script for that. Okay, let's check again if it's working, because if it is, then the gameplay is more or less down. Then we just need to improve the level design a little bit, and obviously the polishing of all of the feedback you get here. Bring me to the next level, please. Please, please. No, why don't you not bring me to the next level? No. Am I in the correct object? Spawner intro. I mean, it's using the correct path, so this should definitely be the correct object. This is my last offer. If you do not accept it, we'll start working on Islanders. But I'm frustrated. That's pretty cool. Now we have 2 games to work on. Maybe we'll do some Islanders development streams as well. As I've said earlier, I just need to make sure that I don't stop working on this game altogether, because if I stop working on this for too long, I'll get demotivated. And that would not be nice. Hey, creepy tuber. That's a creepy name. Okay, cool. Keep it up. Good luck. Thank you. I appreciate it. Come on, are you kidding me? Why is it so hard to bring me to the next level? Let's check out that victory script. Why is my dolphin not working? I don't understand. I mean, we could just go for a different solution and open a door or something when the level is complete. Okay, I think before we do that, we should probably check if that code is even called. Sometimes it's not even called, so if it's not called, then it cannot work. What the hell is this? If instance number. If the instance number is 0, that's what I wanted to ask. Maybe even more performant would be instance exists. And if that is not the case, okay. Well, now I know why it didn't work. Now it will work. While we're at it, let's redesign this level a little bit. I'm not quite happy with this so far, because you can just stay in this area here, and even when you're over here, you can still shoot over here. I would like to force the player to move around a little more, and we can probably do that partially with level design, and we will also have to do that partially with the wave design. The waves are just too long. If there's like 20 enemies in a row coming out here, then obviously you can just keep standing in one spot. Okay, so I'll make these enemies follow a little bit of a curve here, so defending them here should probably be too late. Let's make sure it's too late here. We have to go down there to defend them. And if you defend over here, you cannot just go over here and defend that. Maybe we can give the players a couple more movement options here. Yeah, okay, that looks reasonable. Let's have a look at the paths real quick to see if we have to readjust them. Yes, we do. This path still looks pretty much fine. Let's make them come a little more from the top. So once again, you cannot just stand here and shoot to the side. That would be boring. This way, you're probably a lot better off defending from here or from here, which feels a bit more interesting. And then for this path, yeah, this path looks fine. Cool. So I think one thing that's really cool about this level as well is also that it's pretty self-explanatory what you have to do. I think players will be able to figure that out without an additional tutorial, and that is really what I'm shooting for these levels, to do something that's creative but that doesn't require a lot of tutorials or explanation. I want players to get this pretty quickly. I still want to have some varied and interesting levels, of course. So see, that is boring. That chain is just too long. Okay, and why are there two very long chains coming from the same direction? That is also just stupid design. Okay, but we'll do the actual enemies. I guess we'll do them. Should we do them now? Should we do them later? Tomorrow? I don't know. Should I switch to GameMaker Studio 2? That depends on what you want to do. One of the advantages of GameMaker Studio 2 is obviously that it is still supported and that you can be sure that it will probably run on new graphics drivers and on new updated OS systems. So I think generally it's a good idea to keep your software up to date, but if you're just making a couple of games for funsies, then there's honestly not a big difference, and there are honestly even a couple of features that are pretty annoying about GameMaker Studio 2. I kind of like this layer system here, but what really annoys me is that I cannot select objects from multiple layers, and if you have a ton of layers, then it just takes for ages to find the correct layer, at the very least if you're as stupid as I am. It's just really draining for your concentration. A lot of the things, also same with this folder structure here. Okay, I mean that was pretty much the same thing in the previous GameMaker version. Cool. So now we can maybe go to the level with the turrets. Or should we try to finish this off first? Okay, let's actually rewrite the spawning system. Who cares? I kind of want this level to be a little better and more interesting. I can't just leave it like that in a broken state. No. I think my spawning system at the moment also gives a shit about performance. Because every single one of these functions basically asks for the timer variable and sees if we have the correct timer variable. So that's like 50 or 100 if checks. That's pretty dumb. Okay, what do these things actually save? The time. The enemy and the path. So that should be sounds pretty straightforward. What if we just create 3 lists for those 3 things? Enemy, time, path. Okay, let's redesign this function a little bit. A little bit of refactoring. I think we can probably almost throw this away completely. I mean, we can still use that in the step event here. Later on. Let's clear all of those lists here. Holy path. Time, and then here I'll just have a more pleasant way to hard code this in. Now here's where the path goes. Oopsie doopsie. Let's put path tower defense intro 1. Two, 3. Well, this is once again just for testing, for setting up the system. Blanking, hello. Welcome, welcome. Okay, give me 1 more second. This shouldn't take too long. We just have to add all of these data points to our lists, and then we can read them in the step event, and this will be a much more pleasant way to design these levels. And on top of that, it will also be a lot better for the performance because we don't have to do quite as many checks every single frame. 1 check per frame is totally fine. Do you spend extra time on developing your game other than stream? Yes. Only thing at the moment is that I'm not purely working on this game. I'm spending most of my time at the moment on Islanders because that game is coming out in 3 weeks, 4th of April. So I feel like the majority of my time is probably better spent on Islanders. And I just don't want to stop working on this game altogether because I'm afraid that I'll lose my drive, my motivation to finish this. So I'll just want to keep that process going. Pretty much all we have to do here is add these data points to the list. Ds list add the enemy's argument 1. Path is argument 2. And the time is argument 0. Plus spawn time. I'll just set spawn time plus equal argument 0, and with that function is done. Can close that. And now all we have to do here is to read from that list. Okay. Then we can create that enemy. Time enemy and apply the correct path. And then we can remove all of those data points from the list. The path, the enemy, and the timing of that enemy all can go. There's only a remove. Why is there no remove at? Is it not possible to remove elements from lists in GameMaker? I can't believe that. There's gotta be a way. You can insert stuff, you can shuffle it, you can do all sorts of stuff. Why can you not remove something? Here the remove function doesn't take an index. Crazy, you can open that function? What the hell? Ah, with ds list delete. Okay. Okay, got it. That is the function I was looking for. Would be strange if that didn't exist. So let's set to delete the first position of all of these lists. Enemy path and time. And before that we can check if there's even anything in that list anymore. When we do that, otherwise we have 1. Victory, victory. As soon as there are no more enemies. Yes, nice. Now the system is entirely done. Let's check if it works. Probably won't. No, it will. Let's check it out. What a great argument system. I totally know what the arguments do. Are you saying that ironically? How do you manage your time working on Islanders and Will You Snail, and what is consuming more time now? Islanders is obviously consuming a lot more time at the moment. Why can I not move? And I'm basically just working on this game during live streams, and that will probably stay like that till the launch of Islanders at 4th of April, and after the launch I'll be able to get into Will You Snail a little more again. But for now it's mostly live streams. A couple of weeks ago it was a little more balanced between YouTube and Will You Snail, because that's another factor you have to consider, that I want to release a nice YouTube video every Friday. Honestly, YouTube is probably still one of the biggest time sinks. Yeah, so at the moment, a lot of Islander stuff, but usually quite a lot more Will You Snail stuff. Cool. So, why was I not able to move? That was pretty strange. Did we win instantly or something weird like that? Or was the focus just not on... No, I could look to the left and to the right, right? Okay, win after about 20 seconds or half a second. Then I suddenly stop moving. Seems like the system is not quite working yet. Yeah, these enemies automatically start moving, so I'm not entirely sure what the problem is here. The problem might be we still have a parent that does not fit to the structure of this at all anymore. Is that actually a problem? No, I wanted to delete those. Okay, let's check again. You're doing well for managing all of these projects, keep it up. Yeah. And I'm actually not all that stressed either. It's pretty chill. No, just coding a bit of Islanders, then jumping into a Will You Snail livestream now. It feels pretty manageable. Only thing, as I said, that stresses me out a little bit at times is the YouTube videos. Making one nice epic YouTube video every week is quite a challenge, and you never know how well they actually turn out. Sometimes you put a lot of effort in and you're not really happy with the result. Sometimes it's exactly the other way around. It's kind of strange. Okie dokie. Why my dolphin still not working? Bzz, bzz, bzz. Let's use my favorite debug method and just write here game end. So if this is the problem, the game will just close at the release, then we'll know what's up. At the very least, if we win, I want to go to the next level, okay? But although we shouldn't win that quickly in theory. Why is that list already empty? Okay, I see. That makes a lot of sense. You're 15 years old. I'm a game designer with Unreal Engine. Oh, from Sri Lanka, that's cool. It's nice to have people from all around the world on this channel here. How am I coming to work, USA or any country? I'm not exactly sure what you mean, Beef Boss. Okay, now it seems like we're not shooting anymore, which is understandable because I removed that part accidentally. Feel free to specify your question, Beef Boss. If I can help you, I'll help you, obviously. If object... Okay, now this should finally work. And the architecture is a lot better now, so that should allow us to do some proper level design for these tower defense levels. Nice. Now the question is, which difficulty setting should we balance this around? We should probably balance this around rage mode. Because I don't really care about the people that play on impossible. They'll find a way to beat it, and I want it to be very possible on rage mode. Okay. So why don't we start out with 4 enemies, or let's say 3 enemies from each direction. Should we even split that into waves? Probably don't even have to. Can add a little bit of a break here by adding something to this variable. And then just create 10 of these, or let's say 15 of these very small enemies on lane 2. And then maybe create one really big enemy on lane 1. Let's see how that plays out. You learn game development at school? In school? Ah, no, you want to learn game development in a school, any country. Well, I went to Berlin and studied at HTW Berlin Bachelor Game Design, and I can recommend that school if you wanna study game design. That is a nice school to go to. Okay. Once again, the big enemies feel a little too tough. Or maybe I just did not focus enough of my attention on it. I feel like we should just reduce the HP number of that big enemy. Yeah, like if it has 10 times the HP of a normal enemy, that is totally enough. Ah, you learn game design in YouTube and Twitch. How can I get some scholarship to any school without Sri Lanka? Sorry, I'll have to type scholarship into Google Translate real quick. What does that word mean? Yeah. Okay, now I know what scholarship means, but honestly, I have no idea how to get one of those. I haven't researched that, so fingers crossed that you'll find something. Kinda want to make the big enemy come from a different lane. We should be able to do that here. Let's switch lanes for those two. And then quite a bit later, maybe we can spawn another one of these waves here. Let's see, let's just build this up piece by piece, and also let's not make it too long. As I said, Will You Snail levels are probably at their best when they're not all that long. Okay, jeez. Jeez. I mean, this is not the easy mode, so maybe it's fine that it's quite challenging. No, no! That was a really stupid... Now I have to stand here to defend that big one. That was close. I think I want to give the big one even less HP. This is a little too crazy still. Want this wave to come a little earlier and this wave to come a little later. What I need to get game design job in company, need degree. I mean, you don't need a game design degree to get a game design job in a company. If you have reasonable game development skills, then the games company is the last that asks for a degree. They just wanna see what you can do, and if you have created some cool projects in the past, if you have some sick art skills, they'll take you with degree or without. They probably don't really care. And in terms of scholarships, I'm really not the right person to ask. I have no idea. Oh no, I missed that. Oh no. El stupido. I even went to the next level. Did you see that? How crazy is that? Yeah, obviously there's no enemy spawner in that level. Okay, geez, now if I want to experiment with that again, I'll have to find the level again. Maybe add some feedback when the ball is destroyed. Yes, of course. Need a lot more feedback in the tower defense level for a lot of things. 100% agree.
Hey, can you hear me? Jump to say yes. Come on, that shouldn't be all that hard on normal difficulty. Why are you so stupid? Alright, try to give me a challenge, will you?
So many levels already. No!
Lol, I got you.
As I said, I get distracted quite easily. Sometimes. Just can't help it. Okay, here we go. So after these 3 enemies, I feel like we can do one more wave and then call it quits. Okay, let's assume that's the entire level. And let's test it one last time. And then we finish the level. I don't blame you for getting distracted. You make a beautiful game. Thanks. Thank you, thank you.
You've got to try harder than this.
Let's readjust that path a little bit. Feels a little annoying at the moment, sometimes. They could just fly a little closer to the ground so you can hit them a little easier. Doesn't really matter for this one all that much, probably. And for this one, doesn't really matter either. Let's go. Huh! Do you see that? What is that? Enemies were spawned at the wrong position. We can't allow that. Oh, that was pretty time efficient. Whatever.
This never gets old.
That was pretty brutal. That is pretty brutal. Okay, I think we can readjust these paths a little more. It was clearly not my fault. No. This was clearly the fault of these paths. Hmm. Making these paths a little longer should definitely make it a little easier. And on top of that, one thing that just came to my mind, we can also make these collision masks quite a bit more generous. Usually I make them a little smaller than they need to be, just to give the player a little bit of an advantage for that as well. But in this case, they don't really propose any danger to the player, we can make the colliders quite a bit bigger. Mini game. This way it will be easier to hit them. Cool. I might get the work permit. I have no idea. I'm so sorry. I would really like to help you, but I feel like I'm not exactly the correct person to ask for this.
Oh, what a desperate attempt.
I can already tell that the bigger colliders make this quite a bit easier. Quite a bit easier.
Not even.
Okay, so that means we should probably reduce the length of all of these brakes. I guess now it'll be quite challenging again.
Your opening bracket, not closing bracket, making humanity proud XD.
Now the enemy is flying towards too far down. It's driving me crazy. Let's put that wall here. Let's put that wall here. And one thing I want to check is, when do I lose? Do I lose when these guys touch the endpoint, or do I lose when they reach the end of their path? It seems like there isn't anything about that in here. Let's let something through on purpose and see when exactly we lose. Because I would like to increase the leanway for that as much as possible to make sure we have some nice, cool, close moments. I'll let those in the center through. Let's see what happens. Okay. Nice thing about these levels is that you can master them quite well with muscle memory compared to a lot of the other levels that rely on randomness quite a bit. That being said, maybe we should add a couple of random spikes coming out of the ground. Oh no, I completely forgot about that big one. Okay, we actually managed to reach the goal that the player is forced to move quite a bit. You can't just keep standing in one position, that doesn't work. Okay, feels like that was the correct order to tackle these problems in. Oh no. Nice. Nice, nice, very nice. I feel like this is pretty cool. And then here you come into the next level where you can place your defenses first, and then bam bam bam, all of that starts over again. We've already been streaming for 2 hours almost, so I think this is a nice time to end the stream. If you have any more questions or suggestions, I would ask you to post them in chat now, and I'll try to answer everything as good as I possibly can. Otherwise, just go to the link in the description and wishlist Islanders on Steam. It's gonna be out April 4th. And yeah, I hope you'll enjoy that game. We'll see. Very nice, very nice. Let's see if we can find one more fun, different level to finish this off. I think we made good progress today on the tower defense level. It feels a lot more simple and casual friendly, and I think it will not require a tutorial or anything like that, which is pretty much perfect. It's exactly what we want.
Hey, can you hear me? Jump to say yes. Very nice. The simulation is running in rage mode. I love rage mode. It makes people rage.
Da, 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 da. Actually, this level is surprisingly challenging, even though it's one of the first ones. That's funny. I haven't played this level in a while.
Lol, I got you. OMG, why do you keep there?
Did it get harder? Or did I get worse? I remember that usually I was able to beat this in the first or second attempt. I'm getting old. Also, where I'm moving right now, you can't see anything because the webcam is blocking the way, so this must be very exciting for you.
Nothing to be proud of.
Play zero deaths, yeah,
Alright,
impossible.
try to give me a challenge, will you?
That's pretty much impossible. Okay, see? That was zero deaths.
Do that so quickly. I don't understand. And you've got to try harder than this.
Well, it's really interesting to see because the levels later on in the game feel so different. Very funny. Okay, I don't see any more questions, so I'd say let's just end this. I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you have an amazing day. Hope you get your work permit and find a way to work in the games industry. Beef Boss, I'm sorry if I wasn't able to help you all that much. See you all in the next live stream, which is, yeah, tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye.